All right, guys, let's do this. What up? It's JoJo on the radio. This is the iHeartRadio Countdown. Dude, when I say what I'm about to say, this is not just a random statement. It is so cool to meet you, Teddy Swims.
Hey, pleasure's mine, JoJo.
Dude, you walk in, and I feel like you're one of them dudes where I've known you literally for 7 minutes now, and I feel like we've hung out for years.
I feel the same way, man.
Teddy, real quick, your last name Swims. I know it stands for someone who isn't me sometimes. That sounds like such a deep, statement. Walk me through that.
Well, I really just started out. This actually started out as a hip hop project. So I was doing a bunch of rapping, and I was just gonna go buy Swims because it was like a character I could play,
Right.
And then Teddy got slapped in front of it somehow, and then it just got stuck.
Because Teddy's not your real name at all, right?
But I've been called Teddy forever. Just of course, just that. People
Right.
like sort of little chubby little teddy bear walking around, when I was a kid. So that's just kind of how it stuck.
And that is it? When you go on stage, based on, maybe I'm just kind of overthinking the name, but when you go on stage, is it like somebody like it's you step out of your body, so to speak, or is that?
Well, I think
maybe that's overthinking.
I think the great thing about Swims is I feel like it is. I'm always trying to navigate. I say it like this: the older I get, the further I get from who I thought I was. If that makes sense. I just
whoa.
I just all my values and things that everything I thought I would want to be in 5 years is just completely not at all what I've.
That's deep.
Your values and things just change so much as you get older, and I just I feel like every day I'm just growing and learning and becoming something that I'm glad I am, but that I didn't know I wanted to be. You know what I mean?
I'm sure that statement and that mentality has come out in multiple ways in your music.
Yeah,
That's such a deep.
so.
The album, of course, came out September 15th, I believe it was. The album title, I've tried everything but therapy, Part 1. Once again, that title. That's unpack that one for me.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping with the title that I made myself a promise that when this album came out, and I'm a little behind right now on it because we've been touring, but that I would get into therapy and I'd start asking for some help myself, and I felt like I've done everything but that, and I was hoping that with that title it would be a promise to myself and everybody that I would start getting into it. I would and then also, just open up the door to have that conversation some
Right.
more, because I'm hoping that somebody maybe hears that or hears this conversation and says, man, maybe I should try it too, or maybe I should take the step to get the help that I want or that I need, And so I'm just hoping that I think with this generation we're finally starting to openly discuss mental health, and it's not and it has this whole generational connotation of it being negative somehow, and I think, and I don't know where that is in my head too, because there's still was pieces of me that was I don't need that, I'm not crazy, or and we all had that fault for some reason growing up.
And why is that?
And I don't know. I think that's just generational, where we just, or maybe it's Southern roots I grew up in, was man, I don't need no shrink. That's, but I don't know. But but I'm as I start that journey, and as I get into it, and I'm finding my person that I want to speak with. It's definitely changing, and and I'm glad people are having the conversations. I'm glad we're talking about mental health so openly now, and this generation. I think there's so many organizations that are supporting mental health now, and so many people that are supporting PTSD and mental health and any other issues with mentally. And I think it's just great that this world is because that is such a thing that people need to be discussing.
Ain't that the truth, man? And as far as the actual album itself. My question is, and I ask this about a lot of artists, and there's a reason. What is the last song that made that? Or let me rephrase it. What song almost didn't make the album? And the reason I ask that is a lot of times, and I don't know why this is, that song, the one that you kind of thought, blows up.
Man, there's this song called "You Still Get to Me," and I love the song. I love the song. I just the Warner's, my guy Aaron Baschuk, he really was like, man, why? Because I wasn't gonna put it on there, and he's like, what happened to that song? I love that song. Why wouldn't you put that song? And I really love that song, and I just thought it was I don't know why. I don't know. I think it's to me, I guess it feels like a dumb ballad. I don't know, but I think it's a great song. It's beautiful. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Your own song was a dumb ballad.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know why
Put
I
that
felt
dumb
that
ballad
way.
on there.
Yeah, it's a dumb ballad for dumb folks, but I don't know why it almost didn't make it. It hasn't blown up yet. So I hope you're right. I hope it does blow up, and I hope I'm like,
that's funny.
And I hope I just hit myself in the head like, God, Aaron. I mean, he's usually right though. He's always right. So I'm glad to have Warner, man. They really know what they're doing, and they've really been really wonderful to me because I'm just always in my head about stuff like, nah, I don't like this anymore. You know what I mean? But that's just kind of the job, isn't it? Though you write a song, and by the time you get the song out and you played the song 1,000 times and maybe do a video for it, you've heard it 1,000,000 times and you're already sick of it. And if it really works out for you, like the best case scenario in this job, you sing the song you're already sick of for the next 30 years. You know what I mean? So, it's like, what is that?
And you have to. You can't let the fans down. Like I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. Imagine if Michael I'm sick of singing Billie Jean.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
I would have revolted.
Yeah, what are you talking about? But yeah, so I mean, I hope to have that problem. I really do.
And of course the money comes in with that.
Yeah, sure will. I know. I'll probably love that song a whole lot more once it buys me a few houses.
Yeah, well, make sure to check on Teddy Swim's album, and not only just for Lose Control, listen to his dumb ballad too. Teddy, your fans, obviously they love you. What is the craziest place you've been asked for a pic? I'm sure you've been approached, and I've heard the wildest stories. What's one for you?
Craziest place.
I bet I know what you're going to say, but I'm not going to say it.
I have been approached in a bathroom.
That's
before.
what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, I have been approached in a bathroom before. Yeah, like just standing at the urinal, like somebody just like, "Are you Teddy Swims?" And it's really. I mean, of course, I always ready. Let me wash my hands first, but
right.
I'm not going to put my. After I just, I don't know what I'm allowed to say, but I've
taking a pic with your pants down.
Yeah. Like standing there like a child at the urinal too, like all the way down, just bum out and everything, man. Just like,
sure, here's your pic. So okay, but I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, but of course, I'll always take the picture, man. I'm always the kind of person, if you do get asked, and and it's a small scale still, though, maybe like 5 or 6 people in the airport, so I'm not that famous by any means yet, but I like to think though, like even if you don't have it on, you got to find a way to turn it on. If you ask for this life and you ask for this kind of attention and somebody comes and asks and you don't have it for them, I think it's just like, you shouldn't be doing this job, and that's just where I personally feel like, 'cause what would it be like if it was like, you Teddy Swims, and I'm just like, yeah, what's up? Like, it's just, I hate when people tell me that stories about how they met people and
ruins it.
Some guy just doesn't have the time to take a picture with you, and you looked up to him and followed him for years, and it's like, how can you not just turn around and just take 5 seconds to make somebody's whole year? Just like turn around, take the picture, be smile, like, and I mean, sometimes I'm not always on, but man, it's not hard to turn on for a second. You can just. Yeah, put the Mickey Mouse ears and just go for it, man. You got to make that person's day. I'm nothing unless you say I am, and so that for me, I'll always take the time, even with my pants down at the urinal.
Everything you just said, I agree with. Maybe not the pants down thing, but anyway, you wrote, if I understand the story correct, Teddy, you wrote "Lose Control" after about a week. You spent some time at a writing camp, and a week after that, roughly, you wrote the song. My question is, I have a buddy that has a studio down the street in Burbank. He hosts a couple of writing camps, for labels and artists and producers, whatever. What happens at a writing camp, and how did that help you write "Lose Control"?
Well, so I think there was maybe 10 to 12 of us in that writing camp, and we were there for 4 or 5 days. But basically, if you split up in like groups of 4, and there'll be maybe 4 rooms going on, and we're all writing, and there's all sorts of, and we write one song, do a lunch, come back and write another song, and I'll be bouncing in between these rooms trying to,
like a big brainstorming kind of session.
Yeah, and it's really cool, man. And we mix up the teams, and Julian Bunetta is just a genius when it comes to writing camps. He's been doing this with me since my career started, and he's the best. And him. Mickey Echo and this guy Ammo, and just really, really, I mean, Julian had the idea of like like as soon as he heard the beat, he's like, I just have this idea for some like I lose, and then like some crazy Teddy run, and then we'll like, and then that's what I want the chorus to be. He was like, I know, like all week, he's like, I just want to make sure we write this song. I know we, and I think what came of it was really good because I was in a relationship at the time, and I was really going through some stuff with it, and the song is really about like the lack of substance in a relationship. I think our relationship became, because of the substances we were using and alcohol, it kind of became the substance in our relationship,
Gotcha.
And we started getting this weird like connections toward each other. Like the high highs were amazing and the low lows were just really awful and toxic, and so and I think just we got so connected together through that we were really codependent on each other and the things that we were doing and the lifestyle we were living together. And as I tried to clean up, it just kind of wasn't really the same, and it wasn't really, it kind of became very toxic. And so I think that codependency and on the substances we were using really was the substance in our relationship, Isn't
that crazy how this song, I mean, like, life experiences, in this case, kind of a rough, you went through some stuff, turns into something so beautiful. And it's pretty wild.
And it's like, it's a fun, when people listen to it and have fun and jam to it and have no idea, like how traumatic that was for me.
Every time you play this, you think of the trauma. Yeah.
I'm so glad I have an outlet to turn my trauma into positive things. And that's sick. And I wouldn't trade that for the world.
Amen. Teddy, you're on tour now. I believe the tour wraps November 26th in Tampa, unless I'm crazy there. Do you enjoy road life? I know I'm assuming everybody loves being on stage, but everything that goes with it. Do you like being on the road?
I love it, man. I love it. And it's very tough sometimes though, because you're like, there's always like Kyle from third grade that you haven't seen, in every city you go to, there's a Kyle from third grade, and you're like, well, Kyle's here. I mean, I haven't seen you since third grade. I guess we got to get hammered tonight, And so there's always, I'll tell you, I've never met a friend that ain't my best. So I really like, I'm quite bad at, there's always an excuse to have a good time. And
was there a real Kyle from third grade? Like, Kyle?
Not particularly that guy, but you know what I mean. There's always that as an example. There's always a guy I haven't seen, or a girl I haven't seen, or some people I haven't seen in months and years. And but it's great. I love their life, and we do a 100-person meet and greet every night, and it's so wonderful to meet those people. And I think we get so lost sometimes in the views and the plays and like the numbers, the analytics, I guess, that you forget like how much of a real difference you're making on those people's lives. And when I hear those stories about like, hey, look, I got married to your song, and they're so happy.
Well, yeah.
And somebody else is like, hey, I got married to your song, but my husband died like, last year. And that's like, and so you cry with them and you laugh with them and you hear these beautiful stories that they share with you about how your music has really touched them. And I think I could live. I love that part of it. That's the best part about the road for me, is just seeing that, like, really actively working in people's lives. And like I said before, the song that I was already sick of, I see it just become now a part of their lives and attached to their emotions and their memories. And it's like, okay, this isn't even me anymore. This is not even something I wrote about myself so selfishly. It's just nothing to do with me. And I think it's amazing, man.
And the rush of being on stage, kind of, I mean, It is what it is. That's got to be just like, you can't replicate that
just
anywhere.
Dopamine just firing off, man. It's crazy. Yeah, I find that when I get off tour, though, sometimes I guess I don't have that like level of dopamine going through my brain, so I just like walk around the house like, and I'm like, you're not sad, bro. You're not sad. Just stop. You just don't have that much dopamine. Your brain just slowed down production. You're not sad. Just get up, and get moving.
Back to tour life. I love crazy road stories. I'm guessing you have something to give me. I mean, I'm talking like your tour bus breaks down, you leave a band member in another country, somebody steals the equipment. Do you have a crazy road story, Teddy Swims?
Yeah, just am I allowed to say like
I can bleep anything out if you want.
Okay, cool. So the first tour we did, this. I mean, it's not such a crazy story, but the first tour we ever did right before the pandemic, we were in Sprinter vans at the time. So we were leaving Colorado, and we were going down this mountain in like a snowstorm. So of course, when you're in Colorado, somebody gave me this like, it was like a little bottle like this big, like a little like weed tincture,
right?
Like, and it was like some concentrated. So I thought like, oh, I'm just throw this thing back and I'll get some sleep. And and there's 100 milligrams in the whole thing, and I had no idea. I just thought it was like this big. So I said, "Sure." Threw the whole thing back. I woke up out of my sleep, scared to death, man. I'm texting my mom like, "I love you, Mom. I'm really worried right now." And I remember just sitting back there, dude. I was sitting back there, and the bus is moving, or the little Sprinter van, and I tell Luke, because Luke was driving at the time. I was
this
like,
is down the crazy hill with the snow and all.
I was like, "Bro, you're gonna have to pull over, man. You're gonna have to pull over." He's like, "Bro, we cannot pull over." I said, "Well, somebody else is gonna have to drive, man." He's like, "You're not driving, bro. You're in the back seat." And I was so scared to death. He's like, "We can't pull over. This thing is sliding down the hill as we speak." I'm just high out of my mind, man. Just like, wow. I was so scared. I didn't go back to sleep. I mean, I remember pulling my head off my arms and seeing like 1,000 of them. It was just, so I just don't mess with edibles any longer. That's not my thing.
Teddy, I mean, Lose Control. Let's do this track. We've talked about it already. I mean, it's just, this song has changed your life. Not that you weren't doing your thing before this track,
sure has.
But man, I mean, what else can you say about this track?
Man, I didn't know it would, man. I knew it would. Like, when you get one and you're just like, this is gonna change my life. And I felt that way when it was written, and I just feel it's actively doing that. And it's crazy how much I love and support it's gotten. So yeah, I knew this would change my life, and it sure has. Something
about writing, like I asked Ed Sheeran a little while back. I said, dude, what's the most, what do you love most about this job? What's the rush for you? And I assumed he was going to say being on stage, which of course he loves it and everybody loves that. But he's like, when you write a song and like you get a good one, it's just the excitement of wondering what it could do.
Yeah, it's dude. Yeah. We just knew. I was like, dude, this is it. And I mean, this is the first time I've had a song kind of really go towards this level of success. So I love to. I can't wait to keep writing these and feel that feeling again, and do the same thing and do this again after this one and see how far this goes and take it as far as it possibly can. So
2-part question. I love this question. It has to do with live performances. What do you consider your best live performance ever? I mean, everything was just about perfect. And then the complete, utter flip opposite of that. What do you consider your worst performance? Everything went straight to hell.
I think our best performance I played was we got a chance to go play the Waikiki Shell with the Green in Hawaii not too long ago in Honolulu, and we did the following day. We were meant to be in Maui, but we ended up doing another show there to raise money for the people that lost a lot of things out there and through the fires. And man, I just had a blast there, and it was just a beautiful show and a beautiful scenery outside. Just Hawaii just brings the best out of you. It brings the best out of you. And I think my worst show is, I'm not going to say it's actually not even it's not even like a Teddy Swim show. It's when I was in theater, when I was a child, like in my senior year in high school, I was in theater and we did like the Who's Tommy.
All right.
And it's opening night and I'm nervous to death. I'm playing the dad in that flick, and I had just gotten my clothes, and my pants were huge. Like they had just totally not gotten my clothes right. And I'm going out there. This is the very beginning of the show too. And there's this one moment where I'm like, we've won. And I stick my hand up, my pants just dropped, bro. Dropped to the ground, bro. And I'm a senior in high school. I almost never got back on stage again. So I tried to like just, I went down, and calmly just picked my pants up and pulled them. But the worst part was nobody laughed, nobody laughed. So that was worse. I'd rather you have just laughed at me, and then I could have laughed it off. We all could have shared that moment, but everybody just,
oh my God,
sat there. I don't know if it was just in solitude of me or like if it was just for support. They were just like, don't laugh at the kid. But it's just, there's like 1,000 people in there. Somebody had a giggle. Like it was just as quiet as a pin drop in there, bro.
Oh my God.
And so
did you have like your favorite pair of boxers on or the tidy whities?
I couldn't for the rest of my, I just messed up lines the rest of the night because I just I couldn't get it out of my head that nobody would laugh. Like nobody would they just sit there with me, my skivvies on and just
slowly reach down.
Yeah, exactly what it was like. Yeah, I tried to be funny about it too, and it just didn't work.
Teddy, true or false? I think that's true. You were in an 80s cover band a little while back trying to make money so you could quit. I think you worked at Chili's and you wanted to quit Chili's. Obviously, you've quit Chili's since then. But the people at Chili's that you work with, do you ever I assume they know what you do, obviously. You ever, cruise by the Chili's or see those people like, hey, dude, remember?
I do. I haven't gotten a chance to go back towards Loganville where I was working at the time in Atlanta. But I just saw our bartender like not too long ago. I can't remember what show she was at, but I think Raleigh or something. And I just saw Chelsea. She's really sweet, and I talked to a lot of them, a good bit. Man, they're good friends of mine. And Addie's in my band. He also worked there with me. So everywhere we go, we try to stay in touch with them, and I'll see a lot of them when we play through Atlanta, of course. And
right.
So when we get back towards Atlanta, I'll have a couple weeks to stay there, and so I might pop into Chili's and say what's up.
What if they have they need to put a Teddy Swims, like this is, I don't know how many Teddy Swims comes out of any particular Chili's or small restaurant. I mean, that's pretty big. Teddy Swims worked at this Chili's.
Yeah, I hope Chili's one day reaches out and is like, hey man, like lets me be on a commercial or something. That'd be hilarious.
That would be, now we're talking. This is something that, you don't know this about me? Nothing to do with music, nothing to do with you really. But I am obsessed with the paranormal, ghost, the haunts, even the UFOs or whatever, and it's not just because, it's close to Halloween, that I love this stuff. I have a podcast called Paranormal-ish. I'm off the deep end. Have you ever had anything you would consider a paranormal encounter?
I don't disbelieve it because I believe in anything that I can't see, and if I can't disprove it, it definitely is real. I believe it's real, but I don't think I'm one of those people that are sensitive to it.
Right.
I think they call them like an indigo child, that are the people that can really be tapped into that and like see things all the time and have paranormal events happen to them. But I've always just kind of missed those things so much. I mean, I had when I was younger, I experimented with a Ouija board. But,
oh boy.
And I still to this day don't know if it was like one of my friends moving it or like what. So
that's so hard to tell. I don't get it.
So there's like 4 of us on the finger on it, so like somebody could have been messing around, or messing with us, but we were all freaked out. But I'm like, we went at this is it's a little mountain in outside of Georgia. God, I can't remember what it is for the life of me, but we walked up to the top, waited till like 3 a.m. and did it right there on the top of this mountain outside, and it was like it was creepy. We lit some candles and stuff, and it was creepy. I wouldn't suggest like, that's still not even messing around with that. It's not the way to go. But I think I was 15 or 16, so we didn't have anything to lose.
Okay, here's my my part 2 of this. You're doing a lot of shows. You'll be touring forever. Would you ever consider, I would love to, behind the scenes, get a look at the hotels you have planned to stay at.
Yeah.
And I bet money at least 1 or 2, if not most of them, have a haunted history. Watch out for room B340, the 7th floor. Look out for that. I would love to, set up, a haunted room for you to stay in and report back to me if something happens.
Yeah, I'd be interested in that. Yeah, sure.
All right, we're gonna make this happen, Teddy. Teddy, you wrote like a ton of songs before you, narrowed it down for the album. 150 songs. You said a moment ago off air, like 400 plus songs. How many songs did you write before you whittled it down to just the album tracks?
Well, we've been writing for Teddy Swims for the last 4 years. So yeah, I mean, I'm probably sitting around about 400, 500 songs in a just big folder, but
written and recorded.
Yeah, written and recorded.
No
and,
kidding.
Yeah, hard drive, just a vast amount of music. But I think it's quite weird though, because most of the album really kind of came out of the camp that we've been discussing, and in those 4 or 5 days, it was almost like maybe 5 or 6 of the 10 that we came out with were written in those like 2 or 3 days. It was just
in that writing camp,
and it's just something. Yeah, there was just something about the spirit in that place, or I guess what I was going through at the time, and because it's very much a breakup record, it's very much but it's very much a heartbreak album. So I think maybe we were just in the right space then, and a couple of the songs came in from, times previous, but for the most part, that album was written like in that camp.
What, like the other, 400 whatever plus songs, what happens to all of them? Or do you have them like maybe give those to other artists, take a piece from this song and that song, kind of?
Yeah, so anything, and I still like, as we're putting part 2 together and we're looking, I still have songs I love, and maybe there's songs I could go back on and update production, or maybe recut and change some things about, but I don't think they're ever wasted. But I also know there are some bad songs too, for sure, and gotta
be,
one of the best like advices well, I guess kind of gotten. Like an aunt of mine was asking me one time, she's like, you're always in Nashville or LA writing and writing and writing and writing. And, it's so weird because like you're gone and we never see you, but then you only release like 5 songs. Why is that? And I was like,
that's a fair question.
Yeah. And I was like, well, I'm trying to write the good ones. And she's like, well, why don't you just only write the good ones? And I was so quick to say, well, because I can't. And then my whole life changed in that moment because I was like, I can't write just the good ones. I can't. Sometimes I write the bad ones. And, I think those inform at least the most of like what I'm finding to be my sound and to be the good songs. I think are more informed by the bad stuff. What was it? Ed Sheeran, I saw something he had said the other day where it was like, success never teaches you anything. It's
right.
just failures.
Ain't that the truth? Crazy.
It's so I think a lot of those songs are not failures, but not very good either, though.
That's so funny. Your aunt asked. I mean, for someone outside of the industry, that question makes so much sense. Why do you take so long to write 5 songs?
Yeah, and,
just write the good ones.
Yeah, and I was like, well, I guess I can.
Okay. What are your family and your friends? What's their reaction to this? To the success you've had so far. I mean, like the day one, crew.
Oh man, they're so proud, man. My dad is the most proud guy in the world. My mom's, they do have to like travel all over the place to see me, but
right.
I mean, like when my aunt comes, she's always bringing her girlfriend or her friends, and it's just like, they just eat it up, they look cool, they look like the coolest, my
backstage pass.
My dad, man, he's like, there's not a single place he don't walk into. Like he could be at the gas station in Georgia down the road somewhere and just like, hey man, Teddy Swims. Oh yes, yeah, that's my son right there. Yeah, that's my son. Yeah. Here, check him out. That's my kid. And he's everywhere he goes, man. He asks everybody who Teddy Swims is. Teddy Swims? Oh, that's my son.
Dude, what a rush.
He's the man, bro. He loves it. He's so proud. And that's the coolest thing in the world to make them proud, but it does come with a lot of sacrifice. Like we miss a lot of weddings and funerals and birthdays and births and graduations, but just it's all worth it to make him proud.
Has Dad ever has he received a certain amount of fame from this? Because a lot of parents and get a little fan base too.
Yeah, well, my mom has gotten and they made some friends and they've like really kind of had their Facebook groups and stuff. And my mom she recently like did a interview on a newspaper, our local newspaper or something like that. And she loves it. She eats it up. My mom will stand out there, at the top of the balcony at a show and just wave and like she's the queen of the world. Like my mom loves it. And she's beautiful too. So she's like superstar mom. She thinks she's like she wants it. She's like, yeah, I'm famous, baby.
That's right, she is. Oh my God. I want a message to your fans, day one fans and new fans as well. But before we do that, you might get the award for the coolest outfit for an interview.
Thanks.
Please describe, you just got this shirt the other day?
Yeah, well, when I was watching the Barbie movie, right before we left, to start this leg of the tour, I was watching the Barbie movie and I was just hammered on my couch and Ken had this I Am Knuff, jacket on, and I completely forgot I had ordered it until I got home last night and opened the box, and I was like, oh yeah. So I'm really stoked. I loved it. And I figured I had to wear it today because it's only like going to be, it's on its way out of being cool anymore. So I can only wear I Am Knuff. This is probably my only chance I get to wear this.
He rolls up with an I Am Knuff shirt, looking like a rock star for real. All right, message to your fans, the day one fans and the new fans, because you're picking up new fans like crazy. What's your message to the Teddy Swims fan base?
I love you, and I'll never change. And I'm just happy. I'm so happy to have support and love like this. And I get to do the best job in the world with my best friends, and I just can't ever I can't thank you enough. It's just the best. This is the best life, and it's a good day to be us. Yeah.
Right. And dude, you've got something special. I was talking to, some people about you, and it's hard to even put you in a box. Like, is Teddy Swims a pop singer? Is he, R&B? You're getting some love in the alternative space. I mean, the name Adele has popped up because you couldn't put her in this box, and she came out with this crazy voice. And it's kind of like, I mean, you're different artists, but that story is kind of similar. I mean, what's your take on that Adele?
I would love to be. I mean, Adele is one of the greatest of all time. So that's such a compliment. But I would say I just make music that you can make love or cry to. I'm your guy if you want to make love or cry. But
hopefully not at the same time.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I just I think I think emotions, as long as it's emotional and the emotions across, no matter what the avenue is, if the emotions are there, then I think the song's just going to be good, you know. And I just try to do the honest, vulnerable thing, and as honest as I can possibly be. And so, you know,
that's why you're killing it, dude. Seriously, that's it. Quick recap, Teddy. The album, it is out. It's called "I've Tried Everything But Therapy" Part 1. "Lose Control" is killing. Tour life is just madness, you know. I mean, what else do we need to know about Teddy Swims? Teddy Swims.
Man, you know, I don't know, man. I don't have much to say about me.
Maybe that's it.
You know, I talk about me too much, I think so.
One of these days, I want to get a tattoo with you.
I'd love to, man.
I mean, I've done a handful of tattoos on the air. My first couple of tats, so I wouldn't chicken out, you know. And I don't know why they're addicting, but
Dude, I love them.
What is it? Why? That's my final question. Why are tats addicting?
I don't know. Don't start with your face, though. That's even worse, man. It's so liberating when you get your face tattooed. I just can't stop getting them. I'm like, I can't stop getting them on my face for some reason. I think I've done it pretty tastefully. You know, I don't think it takes away from my face, but I see my face every day. I think I had a kid the other day, like, come and count them, and I'm like on 20 something on my face now, and I was like, oh God, I really got carried away here. Yep, so I just said the other day we're in the green room, and I think Luke, my manager's like, well, no, it's been a couple of days. I think you're due for a face tattoo. You know,
why not? All right, honest to God, I want to get a tat with you for real.
I would love to, man.
Teddy, so great to meet you, man.
You too, pal.
At the end of every interview, fist bump to make it official. Give me a little bye.